with two young kids
you
caught
want
in
me
the
to react to
middle
your
of it all.
Right,
Kids who just lost their beloved mom.
Just remind me. Hold on, what was going on? I wasn't even paying attention.
It wasn't just a
Can y'all hear? Is everything good? Let me know before we start. Is everything good?
horrible accident. Here, on the decoder, there are no accidents. Instead, the investigation following Deborah's death would unearth arguments, threats, and a secret recording, with two young kids caught in the middle of it all.
No!
Kids
How you
who just lost their beloved mom.
Oh my gosh. They be like happy family. Ooh, what is?
A homicide in Boulder.
No, this is why y'all need to have ring cameras.
Featuring exclusive
I don't care. I'm
body
gonna have
cam
some ring
footage.
Cameras.
This is the tragic story.
Anything can happen. You need like a dash cam, all that type of stuff.
It was June 18th, 2018 in Boulder, Colorado. In the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's a vibrant
Colorado
city
look
with
like
a
a nice
lower
place.
violent crime rate than average
That look
across
like
the
Area
U.S.
51 up there. I don't know about
Picturesque
that, but like-
and full of culture. Some people view it as the ideal place to raise a family.
You know,
Maybe
it seemed out the
Deborah and
way.
her family
It seemed
had
out the
once
way.
thought so, but their life in Boulder was
RB to the wife. Let's give her 5 big booms. RB.
Gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
RB.
about to take
So
a
sorry.
horrible turn.
What do you know right now?
That she fell in there and sounded like she went to her neck. Yeah, he
She had a
wasn't.
what to her neck?
He said that she did like this to her neck, like when she fell. But she fell in the laundry room, and then he started doing CPR on her.
This is what Scott Jones told the officers responding to his 911 call. He said that Deborah had fallen by accident in the laundry room of the office at the mobile home park, where the family had temporarily been staying in a cramped travel trailer. And initially, any story, including this story, could have been the case. In the chaos of first response, the emergency service's first priority is stabilizing a patient in critical condition. They didn't need to know how she got on the ground, only what they could do to save her.
She's my whole life. She's my whole life.
She needs you to be, she can hear you right now, okay? So she needs you to be strong for her, all right? So take a deep breath, okay?
That's the husband?
best people that can possibly be working on her, okay? Does she take any opiates or heroin? You don't know? Is there a possibility? Has she ever used them?
Always hear about it. Smokes that damn pipe where they heat up the end and they stick it in that stuff.
Stick it in the
The
stuff. Heat up the
paramedics
pipe with
needed to know
those. She
if
was
Deborah was
doing
a
meth.
drug user,
She
so they
be
could
doing
revive her
meth.
if this was a possible overdose. Scott, who'd been with his wife for 20 years, said he didn't know. He implied that she smoked some sort of illicit substance, but he didn't know what it was. Maybe this was understandable, in the high stress of the situation, his wife being resuscitated in the other room. But it didn't help. Deborah was transported to the hospital. There she was declared dead. Out of the reach of medical help, it was now the police's turn to do something for her, to determine why and
Let's
how
do some
she
research.
died.
What actually happened? He was like,
couple
she's
had
my
2
everything. She's my everything. She's my everything. Apparently not. Apparently not. If you killed her, like, what you talking about?
A daughter, Mary, and a son. The son was only 10. Both kids had been there in the trailer park on June 18th, and so the cops faced the harrowing task of interviewing the newly motherless children. First, they talked to Mary.
What was going on today?
They were just kind of like arguing.
Guys,
a
chat.
little bit.
What were they arguing about?
She needs help.
I don't-
SOS. Someone help her. Someone help her now.
Okay. Do they normally argue?
Mary painted a troubling picture of her parents' marriage. It was already bad enough to have argued with your spouse on the last day of their life, but what if it was related to her death?
So they were arguing outside, but do you know what it was about? Was it real serious or just like a normal argument?
Kind of sounded.
And though this couple argued frequently, this was worse than usual. The
Okay.
police needed to know more about how this argument had started and what the family's day had looked like before it all went so horribly wrong.
Okay, can you walk me through today, like how you got to this point and then we got called? So
Come
where
on,
did
let's
you wake
talk
up
about
today
it.
at?
What actually
I
happened?
woke up at my house
Okay.
and we drove down here.
This gentleman that was just standing here, you all live at that house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he dropped us off here and then went to work.
Okay, and so she went to work.
Right.
And then after a few hours, she came back here.
Which was about what time?
I think around maybe 4 or 5.
4 to 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. And then?
Then they were arguing, and I went to the car.
Deborah was a chef in food services
knew it.
at the
I knew it. That
University
picture
of
looked
Colorado
looked
Boulder.
like a
dedicated mom with mouths to feed, she worked a lot, while Scott tended to take care of the kids. She'd left them alone with him while she went out to her shift, not suspecting that she'd never go out to work ever again. She got back in the late afternoon, and that's when she started to fight with Scott.
Oh, here we go. It was all on camera.
The couple met in 1998 at a New Year's Eve party. Born in 1973, Deborah had just turned 25 when she met Scott, who was 28. They were from opposite ends of the country. Scott was from Dade County, Florida, and had moved to Colorado via North Carolina. Meanwhile, Deborah went to high school in California, but they hit it off right away. They shared a love for horses.
What you watching? Because we watching some horses right now. What is you watching? You want to talk about that part? You want to talk about that part or no? We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. All right. I said I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I don't know what you be watching. We might need to search. I might need to get a little search on your history.
And the Colorado landscape, and they soon settled down together. Deborah was held multiple jobs over their time together, finally settling at the University of Colorado in 2008. Scott, however, had a far more patchy record of employment. His primary role in their family was to look after the kids. They'd recently moved into the trailer park from a place in the mountains, but the move was only temporary, and they'd left their dogs and their horses behind. Maybe this was a benign change of scenery, or maybe it was a clue to deeper troubles threatening their long-standing relationship. There seemed to have been strife between the two for several years. In 2014, Deborah shared a post on Facebook saying, "Relationship status, it's complicated," with the caption, "You ain't kidding." While perhaps this was only a fun meme, it seemed to suggest trouble to come. So the police also talked to the couple's previous neighbors back up in the mountains. They didn't have much good to say about Scott.
If you end up just people that ended up killing their significant other, killing their kids, what has life gotten to for you to get that down? I don't understand.
He had nothing to do but come down and kind of bother
I don't understand. We can't talk. We can't talk.
But she was
we can't sit down and have a drink, have a nice dinner real quick, maybe just chat about it. What's the yak about it real quick?
Got taken advantage of a lot, I guess. She, like I said, she really put out to him and his expectations of the relationship.
Which were very strange.
She worked 2 jobs. Well, he didn't work any.
You doing your biggest one to get TJ as a stop.
Winner. Had this led to tensions in their relationship? Was this what they've been arguing?
You already know what flavor. It's backwards. Cinnamon. Yo, dots. Sponsor. I eat these every day. These ones in the honey mustard. Big boom.
Get 5 big booms.
Boom!
What's good, fish toes?
The police to someone who might be able to shed more light on their dynamic. One of Scott's old friends from high school, a man named Gardner. Sometimes they worked manual jobs together, but these never lasted long.
On and off, he'd work with me. But he always tends to lose his job because he runs his mouth about things that are going on in his head.
Gardner implied that Scott was a man who lacked impulse control. If he was mad about something, you'd hear about it, and maybe not just hear about it. Was Scott the sort of man to do something violent about it?
We can hit about it. Yeah, we can hit about it.
The question became most pressing when Gardner talked about the couple's relationship and how they'd apparently been on the brink of splitting up for a long while.
Last time I talked to him was probably 2 weeks, maybe about 2 weeks before the incident.
So that surprised you? I mean, just kind of curious myself.
Actually it did.
Really?
He was talking about how that was all over and done with, and he was going to move on,
Oh, they had separated.
Yeah.
And that was done.
separated. He was actually living in the trailer.
At the start of June, according to Gardner, Scott and Deborah had been separated. This was the reason behind the move into the trailer, that Scott was moving out from living with Deborah. But on June 18th, the family had all been in the trailer parked together. Had they reconciled, or were they about to reach breaking point? Gardner didn't know.
So the last he said to you about like their relationship was they were done, split up, and it was over. And
Yeah, and he was...
never said anything about I'm gonna kill that or nothing like that. Or
No.
okay.
Gardner said that Scott
he didn't
had
say
never
anything, but he
vocalized
already
any
knew. He
threats
was
to
like,
Deborah's
yeah,
life.
he'll crash
But
out.
this
I already know
wasn't
his body.
strictly true. A year
His wife
earlier,
dead. I'm
Scott
already
had been
knowing.
talking to one friend when that friend asked him what he'd do if Deborah left him.
Was good.
Clearly, they were having marital troubles even then. And Scott said it wouldn't happen, that he wouldn't let it happen. But what measures would he go to prevent it? He told another friend if she tried to leave him, then I'll whack her over the head and put her in the ground. And
See, what's worse, saying that or this? Like, what's like let's be honest. Like, is that bad or is this worse?
Stuff I ain't supposed to be letting you in on. See, if I snuck up in your bedroom, touched you while you sleep, would you act surprised as if you didn't know it's me?
Right. So let's like which one's worse? That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know, just shit, bro. I don't even shit, bro.
Before her death, he told someone else that he had friends that owed him favors and could have her taken out.
What? He got hench mafia on his side? Hench mafia. He really got goons on his side. He really got goons on the side.
And only a week before her death, he told someone else that he had friends that owed him favors and could have her taken out.
He said, I'm gonna drop you off. I'm gonna get you dropped off. Respectfully. I'm sorry, but like, okay, having someone dropped off for this.
Would you act surprised as if you didn't? Snuck up in your bedroom, touched you while you sleep. Would you act surprised as if you didn't?
I don't know. I think Trey Songz got it. I think Trey Songz might be up there. He might be up there. Like, yeah, you got hitters, whatever, but like, touch you while you sleep, Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
These threats were escalating and becoming more realistic. At the heart of it were Scott's possessive tendencies. Once, when they were separated that same year, she had a casual boyfriend.
You trying to bet on this? You think the Chiefs are going to win? The Chiefs?
She told
the
the boyfriend to hide in the
Chef's going to
armoire.
win for sure.
Imagine
Yeah,
you were trying to
Chefs.
disentangle yourself from a possessive, controlling husband, and he came to your house to find you with another man. You'd probably do the same. But the incident suggested that she was afraid of him. This, despite the fact that Scott had their 10-year-old son with him at the time.
Oh my
It
goodness.
seemed she didn't think it mattered whether there was a child present. If
Wow.
Scott was going to hurt her, he'd do it anyway. He knew she was seeing another man. He sent her barrages of text messages, often threatening. In one, he wrote, "God isn't happy with you committing adultery against me." Another said, "If you keep offending me, I will rebuke you just as the Lord will."
He started bringing. Okay. Yo, he think he a priest or something. I must condemn you and send you to the shadow realm, buddy. Take a look in the mirror first before you start doing anything crazy. Like, what are he talking? He talking crazy, like.
Most ominously.
But like, it's still like, what's worse, him saying that
Ain't supposed to be letting you in on.
or this?
See, if I snuck up in your bedroom, touched you while you sleep.
Nah.
Would you act surprised as if you didn't know it's me?
Nah. I don't know. Y'all both need to get back in the Bible study.
A
Both of
text
y'all.
from Scott that read,
Come on,
"Ain't
Scott.
no cop or restraining order gonna stop what's coming. I don't care what happens to me at all. I am a man with nothing left to lose except my life.
Yeah.
Nothing left to
He's
lose."
a crash out.
He
Stop.
had 2 kids, but they didn't seem to matter to him if he couldn't keep a hold of his wife as well. All signs pointed to a vicious escalation, and Deborah walked right into the path of his jealous rage when she came back from work on June 18th.
It's like,
Their
oh my
son.
God. You say like you have nothing else to live for, This is why you need to have a life outside your significant other. This is how you need to have a life in general. You need to have something going for yourself. You do, and he has a kid. Look, he got Jimmy Jones right there. He got a kid. What do you mean you have nothing else to live for? Even if your wife left you, which she did because you're crazy, respectfully, you have kids. You can't be a good dad. You forgot you're a father. You forgot about that. You have so many roles to play in life. You just go.
Witnessed the aftermath. Scott ran to him and shouted at him that Deborah wasn't going to make it.
He came in like screaming, and he was saying that he thought he was dead. So he brought me into the room, and she was just purple and cold.
Imagine bringing your 10-year-old son into the room where his mom lies dying.
What?
Or already dead. What kind of father would do that? He
You are
was
not a
panicking,
dad.
yes. But there was something more
You're not
to
a
it.
dad.
And this would be revealed by something Scott hadn't taken into account when he started the argument with Deborah that day. A string of recent neighborhood thefts had left the owner of the trailer park to fit it with a surveillance system.
Okay.
This included a hidden camera in the trailer park office itself. Whatever had gone down between Scott and Deborah had been caught on camera, and his lies would be revealed.
I thought there was some common sense with you. Well, I thought you knew that you don't have somebody in there.
In this secret footage, Scott and Deborah can be seen coming into the trailer park office, clearly in the middle of a heated argument.
He doesn't know. I didn't. So that's why you told me.
They disappear into the laundry room out of view of the camera, but not out of earshot.
Yeah, we can
Deborah
still
was
hear
tired
all the audio
tired
waves.
of fighting with her husband, and just wanted to get her laundry done so she could get out of there. But this wasn't an ordinary
just came back for
argument
clothes.
like all the
Wow.
others.
What are you doing over there? I'm getting one. Get out of here, this common sense. We're fighting for an hour over nothing. I'm done. We are never going to be together. You're so cruel. Is that all you got, cruel and mean? You're getting my way. Weird. You're just over my way. No, whatever. Get away from me. Get away from me.
They had been together for 20 years.
Damn,
Scott
20
had spent at
years.
least some of that time trying to control her. And when she told him to get away from her, something snapped. He couldn't leave her in the laundry room.
Oh, don't touch me, Scott. You can't force me to love you anymore.
That's real. That's real. That's real. You can't force anyone to love you, bro. You can't force anyone to love you.
I'm trapped. Get away from me.
Yeah, Poom Poom can't be that good, bro. Oh!
Bedroom, touch you while you sleep. Bedroom, touch you while you sleep. Bedroom, touch you while you sleep. Bedroom, touch you while you sleep.
I think Trey Songz is in the chat. Why was that the first thing you thought of? Why was that the first thing you thought of?
This awful sound
Oh my
was the
gosh.
sound Deborah made when Scott laid his hands on her,
Oh no.
when he started to strangle her. Her life partner, the father of her children, attacked her. In a horrible betrayal, it was an attempt at exercising control over her for the final time. Then it was over, and Deborah lay unresponsive on the floor,
Bro.
and Scott realized what he'd done.
Bro.
He spent the next 47 minutes in the laundry room with her, not calling for help, even though the fog of rage must have lifted.
That's what, okay.
No,
See,
instead
that's where he got caught, and that's where he got caught up. That's the last thing we hear from her screaming, and then he's just in the laundry room for 47 minutes, just no calling the police. Da 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 da. Scum of the earth. 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 Just sitting there. What are you thinking after you do such a thing? Like, are you even thinking about your kids? You had no thought of your kids in mind, no thought of your wife in mind. Ugh. He's always felt inadequate compared to her. Adequate. That's a good word. It's a nice word right there. Vocabulary. Bro was dirt on the bottom of my shoe. He's really the gum under the desks. that 20-year-old hard gun under the school desk. You know?
The plan he settled on, using his 10-year-old son as a cover story. He went to the boy.
Oh my gosh, you're lying. Okay, now, killing your wife, then using your 10-year-old son as a cover-up, or
up in your bedroom, touch you while you sleep.
Trey Songz still might got it. He still might got it. I'm not gonna lie. He still might got it.
Something had happened to his mom. In this surveillance footage, they can be seen going back into the office together. Perhaps in Scott's twisted imagination, he thought this would exonerate him. Why would he show his son, his murder victim, if he'd killed her? But he had.
He's gone, man. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He literally told. So he went to his 10-year-old son talking about like, "Hey, mom's dead. Hey, she's gone. Come check it out. Come check it out."
With Deborah declared dead, the hospital had to work out her cause of death. In an autopsy, the forensic pathologist determined she died of homicidal asphyxiation. But
I got you, bro. I got you. Hey, you want some therapy? You want some therapizing? Big booms for your forehead, bro.
Gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
Did your therapy for the day.
But the police already suspected foul play. The day of her death, the kids were taken by Child Protective Services, and Scott was brought to the sheriff's department. During his interview, he maintained what he told the first responders, that Deborah had suffered some sort of medical issue.
I don't know, dude. Like, she went like this. She started going like that and stuff.
And even though their kids had witnessed them arguing, he maintained that their relationship was going to be okay.
W therapy sessions.
Discussions about
y'all gotta join the Discord. We gotta get some Discord runs in.
No, I love my wife and she loves me, man. And I have no idea how that went down like that today, dude.
Okay.
Right.
She fell. Yeah, she was face down. She fell.
Right. And she just died from falling.
My kids home. And I'm answering
questions. That's believable.
Very cooperative.
Scott still believed that he was going to get away with it, but the officers knew that Deborah's death was suspicious, and that
love my
Scott
wife.
had
Said
been the
every
only
wife
person in that
murderer
room
ever.
with her. They
Oh! Chance the Rapper. Someone check on him.
dug deeper.
Did something happen in that room that...
No way, man. No way.
I mean, I know accidents happen. If you're arguing, did something happen that went too far? Did she have a heart attack and die?
No, man.
Cash with the follow.
Scott was still denying it.
Welcome to the Law
It was
Breakers.
later that night that the police department would receive the evidence they needed to confirm what he'd done. The manager of the trailer park rang the police with the secret surveillance footage, and Scott's guilt seemed assured.
I hear him arguing for about 15 minutes, and then when he does, he's saying, oh my God, and he's kind of pacing. Okay. And I just got chills up in my spine. I couldn't watch anymore.
They showed this footage to Scott.
That doesn't prove anything, and you know
That's why
that.
your hairline receded. That's why your
kids
kids don't love
in
you.
that room. What's going on in that club?
No, man.
That's why you ugly and stupid.
Scott,
Yo, that was a sick burn. No, that was a sick burn. Tell me I got him. No, that was a sick burn, bro. Caught him a doo-doo head, bro. He is, hey, bro.
Are you trying to figure out what to do next?
Scott knew they were close to nailing him for the murder. In this interview footage, he can be seen getting increasingly worked up as he knows he's edging closer to being caught.
Hey, yo, he's
so
edging?
he asked
Hey, yo.
for his lawyer. But a lawyer isn't a miracle worker. The police had him dead to rights, and the lawyer must have known that. And worse, he tried to justify what he'd done.
What happened?
I don't know. You think I am not kicking out of myself? You don't think I feel bad?
Well, I know you were.
Oh man, it wasn't good enough. I'm taking the kids. You ain't taking my kids. Threatening me with me, man. I mean, with me. Just couldn't stop being a monster. Just couldn't stop being cruel, man.
So you be cruel and what is he talking about? Yo, shout out Kai. Shout out Kai with the bits. Give some more big booms. Clap it up.
It was Scott who'd made Deborah's life a living hell. But according to Scott, it was the opposite.
Fork
He
time,
made Deborah
GG's.
out to be a cruel person who'd driven him to murder.
But I didn't think anything through. I didn't think about anything. I just reacted. I don't know what happened. I just reacted. I don't know.
That's your excuse? Oh, I just reacted. I just reacted.
It's
I just
nuts.
reacted. I just reacted.
Scott was charged
I
with
just choked her
murder,
and killed her.
and he
I
seemed to
just reacted.
accept
I
what
just
he'd
reacted.
done. Perhaps it felt good to get it off his chest. He seemed concerned about his kids, most of all, despite what he'd said to Deborah in a text a few weeks earlier that he had nothing to lose.
Yeah, we heard. Remember he said all that crazy stuff? Talking about have nothing to lose. Have nothing to live for.
I want to see my kids again, man.
Pin that, pin that, bro, pin that. The Kid Law live. That's where the videos go.
But he'd killed their mom. There could be no getting them back.
Oh my gosh.
When he was being driven away from the police department, he expressed his regrets.
That was me.
That was you. Well,
Care of them. I was the stay home. All she did was abuse all of us for many years.
So you about to get a onesie for your birthday? Hey. No, that's a nice purchase right there. That's a nice purchase right there. Clap it up, clap it up. Get cozy. TheKidLaw.com. Get cozy. Get cozy.
I didn't believe her anymore. Lies, 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 lies. Never stopped lying. I wish I could take it back.
But was this regret genuine?
He's over here getting pulled, about to go to
A few
jail. So
months
I wish I
later,
could
he made
take
a
it
phone
back.
call from
No,
prison. These
you
phone
just talking
calls are
because you got caught.
recorded,
Shut
though
up.
inmates often forget this fact. Over the phone, he said, "She made it all go down," most likely referring to Deborah. He also wrote a letter to a son he had from a previous relationship, writing, "Now she is in hell. I bet she's a believer now.
What?
Oh, well, too late. Something tells me Debbie doesn't think I'm a punk, explicative, anymore." The letter ended, "I bet she's sorry for being a lying, cheating, deceitful A. Now I bet she knows I was a good man. Now, too late now." This painted a very
If I snuck up in your bedroom, touched you while you sleep.
Okay, now okay. See now, like he actually might be worse. No, cause like what this he wrote this. He took the time to take this from his head, put it on a piece of paper, and write it down and send it to his other son, probably another 5-year-old. He can't even read all this. What are you saying? What is wrong with dude? You can't even. How do you justify this? How do you ever justify this in your head? Oh my gosh.
different picture to his regrets expressed to the officers in the squad car. No, instead he was almost gleeful about what he'd done. His trial took place in December 2019. The defense presented no witnesses, but it still took 10 hours for the jury to come to a verdict. All but one jury members were convinced of his guilt, with one holdout. But the conflict was only between first and second-degree murder. The difference between the two verdicts was whether Scott had planned to kill Deborah or done it on the spur of the moment.
Does it matter? He killed her.
Texts and statements to his friends implied the former, though his interviews made it seem that he'd killed her on impulse. And ultimately, the jury were
At
convinced
least Trey Songz is attractive. Oh my gosh.
of the latter. They found Scott Jones guilty of second-degree murder, as well as one count of child abuse for bringing his young son into the room to see his dying mom. He was sentenced to 48 years in prison,
Give
the
him a
maximum
life.
sentence allowed for the charge of second-degree murder.
Give him life.
He was also sentenced for 1 year on the count of child abuse, and a motion was granted preventing him from having any contact with his and Deborah's kids to protect their mental and emotional well-being.
True, yeah, they
The
don't-
children are now being raised by Deborah's family out of
Okay.
state,
But
while
still,
Scott remains in prison.
They literally don't have a mom or dad now. Oh my gosh. That is, bro.
What do you think about this twisted story?
I think I think
Touch you while you sleep.
Trey Songz might be a murderer. That's what I think.